recent times, we've learned a lot of new info about Incredibox Sprunki, and we might have finally gotten the long-awaited information that holds the answer to the ultimate question of the Sprunki universe. Who are these f***ing killers? There have been countless theories about what's really going on in the world of Incredibox Sprunki. Some are backed by official information, while others are just wild fan speculations. The main suspects behind the horrors of the phase transitions include Wenda, the enigmatic Black, and for a long time, Lime, who was ultimately confirmed dead by the developers. However, it doesn't rule out the possibility that Lime might have taken out at least one Sprunki before his demise. Gray also remains under suspicion due to one specific element: the cryptic words of Mr. Fun. Then there's the outlandish theory that Derpal is the secret killer due to his odd behavior in the second phase. But let me make this clear right away. This is complete nonsense. Derpal is innocent, and his strange actions can be attributed to the sheer horror he witnessed during the phase transition. In defense of Derpal, let's consider that he, Oren, and Simon are canonically best friends. While we've seen Simon struggle to survive and understand why he made it through, Oren met a much bleaker fate. If Derpal were truly the secret killer, there's no way he would have allowed anyone to harm his friend, especially considering his stronger bond with Simon. There's even another angle that supports Derpal's innocence. We know for a fact that Derpal is a dragon, half monster in a sense, which could easily explain his unusual demeanor during Phase 2. But if it's not Derpal, then who is the secret killer? And how does Black tie into all of this? There's a theory that Black's appearance in the world of Incredibox Sprunki is no coincidence, and that his presence is tied to supernatural forces. According to this theory, Black was summoned from another universe, and this summoning ultimately caused the horrifying chain of events we've seen. The only Sprunki capable of such a ritual would be Jevin, who is canonically confirmed to be a cultist. However, this connection alone feels like weak evidence, until we consider some recent insights shared by the developers. In a recent update, it was revealed that Gray, Jevin, and Funbot survived solely because Black simply forgot to kill them. At first glance, this might seem like a humorous remark or a joke from the creator. But upon closer inspection, it could be intentional, a subtle hint meant to spark more speculation about Black's role in the story. This new information essentially confirms that Black is the second killer. And while his precise origins remain a mystery, one burning question remains. How did Black even arrive in the Incredibox Sprunki universe? This is where Jevin comes back into play with his peculiar fascination with the occult. Could it be that Jevin's cultist rituals inadvertently summoned Black? And if Black isn't an ordinary Sprunki, then what is he? Here's where the theory takes a chilling turn. Black isn't just another Sprunki, he's a demon. This idea seems even more plausible when you recall Black's ability to transport all the Sprunki into what can only be described as a version of hell. If he's not an ordinary Sprunki, then perhaps he's something far more sinister. And the consequences of his arrival are only just beginning to unfold. As we know, summoning a demon typically requires a ritual. This is where Jevin's fascination with cult practices becomes a crucial piece of the puzzle. It raises the possibility that Jevin either accidentally or intentionally summoned Black, setting everything else into motion. Perhaps the close placement of their icons on the selection screen is a subtle hint from the developers, further supporting this theory. But at first glance, this idea seems to fall apart because it directly contradicts a piece of official information. The developers have explicitly stated that Jevin hasn't killed anyone, and is in fact on the good side. Does that mean this theory is invalid? Not necessarily. What if the apparent contradiction actually hides a deeper truth? Let's break it down. We know Jevin is on the good side and hasn't killed anyone, but we also know about his unusual interests in occult practices, which could have inadvertently led to Black summoning. Imagine a scenario where Jevin was simply indulging in his hobby, performing some ritual purely out of curiosity or passion, and accidentally summoned Black. In this case, Jevin remains a good-natured Sprunki who didn't mean to cause any harm. His role in Black's arrival would be purely accidental, not malicious. This interpretation aligns perfectly with the developer's statement. Jevin hasn't killed anyone and still belongs to the good side. This possibility not only keeps the theory intact, but also adds depth to Jevin's character. A well-meaning Sprunki whose innocent mistake unleashed unimaginable chaos. Let's circle back to the information about why Jevin survived and managed to escape Black's wrath. The developer officially stated that Black simply forgot to kill Jevin. But what if that's only partially true? According to our theory, Jevin is the one who summoned Black, which makes him, in essence, Black's master. If that's the case, then Black spared Jevin because he couldn't harm the one who brought him into existence. Does this mean Jevin has full control over the situation? It's entirely possible. In theory, Jevin could potentially banish Black from the universe of Incredibox Sprunki, but we haven't seen that happen yet, and there are a couple of reasons why. Jevin may not fully realize his role in all of this. He might not yet understand that he's responsible for summoning Black, or that he holds the power to determine Black's fate. The existing fan-made phases are non-canonical. As of now, the official storyline ends with the second phase. Everything beyond that is fan interpretation, which means we have no concrete answers about what happens next. If the developer ever decides to continue the official story, we may finally uncover more about the Incredibox Sprunki universe and either confirm or debunk our theory. What do you think of this theory? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so share your feedback in the comments below. But what about Gray and Funbot? Were they really just forgotten? Officially, we know Gray survived because he managed to hide well, and we'll stick to that canonical explanation. But things get a lot more intriguing when it comes to Funbot. We know for a fact that Funbot is a robot, and this might have been what saved his life. He could have been deemed unimportant or uninteresting, not just to Black, but to any of the other killers. Even when we look at Mr. Fun, we don't see any physical damage on him either. The only harm he seems to have suffered is psychological. But we can also consider the developer's statement about Black's memory issues. According to our theory, Black is a demon. There have also been long-standing rumors that Wenda became a killer because Black hypnotized her. If that's true, then it's likely he hypnotized the other killers too, giving him complete control over them. He could have explicitly ordered them not to harm Jevin, recognizing him as their master. Gray survived by hiding well, and as for Funbot, his lack of a soul might have made him uninteresting to Black. Alternatively, Black's forgetfulness could indeed be a real trait. If that's the case, it would extend to his puppets, who might share his poor memory. This would explain how they overlooked the surviving Sprunki. Another possibility is that Black simply had too much on his plate. Managing killers, turning certain Sprunki into monsters, and overseeing chaos might have drained some of his power, leading to memory issues. Of course, this is all just a theory. We don't have definitive answers, and only an official continuation of the story could confirm or disprove any of this speculation.